And real quick, guys, want to know that when you course practical sci-fi design, you will learn to effectively model inside of 3ds Max and plasticity, and then use V-Ray to create procedural materials. And all without leaving Max, you will learn how to do color correction, volume light, lens effects, and use V-Ray's decal system to create quick decals. So be sure to check that out in the description.
So here you can see I've got a negative extrusion, negative bevel, and followed by a positive right here, just to add all sorts of crazy details right here. I can also move these a little bit to the left right here. Once again, I can use the front viewport for this, because once you apply symmetry, you can see there's a little bit gap right here, so just move a little bit to the left right here. There we go. You can also use extrude to create quick paneling details here. So with these edges selected, I'm going to deselect these edges right here. Okay, you can see it's not perfectly straight here, but that's okay. That may actually make it look a little bit more interesting. And now we can use extrude right here. And just quickly fix up these kinds of corner areas like so. And once again, you can use axis constraints. So S, Alt D, and then there we go. Alt DS to turn off axis constraints and snaps. And so now we just got a quick panel line detail going right here. And you can also use make planar just to flatten this out like so, which can also be an interesting result here. And so in the previous video, what I showed you was being able to select these polygons, bevel with height outline to 0, then hold shift to convert the border edges, and then straighten this out here to get this right here. Another method is by simply cutting and then using straight to get this kind of result as well. So just another method here. We can have this be straight. We can also, let's say, have this be a little bit curved right here. It may create interesting detail right here. And since I'm going to be baking this, in order for this to capture better into normal map right here, I'm just going to scale this on the z-axis right here. And so that will create an interesting detail right here. So you can create some very interesting things just with very simple operations like this. So now I'm going to actually crease set this. After all the modeling and changes here, crease set becomes a little bit chaotic here. So I need to spend some time selecting the right edges here. For example, here, I will select ignore back facing, and I will double click here, and also right here, because I only want to crease these to create an interesting effect that we saw earlier. So I'm not going to crease these edges right here. I'm only going to crease it so we get this crease going right here. And so I can then update this. I'm not done yet. I just want to show you this result right here. And so now we get this kind of interesting subdivision right here. As you can see, by not creasing these edges, we get this nice smooth result, which kind of makes your model look more interesting here. Here, for example, we get this strange result right here. So here in this case, I may just not want these to be creased at all, so I'll just select this right here. Make sure I'm using rectangular, just select all these edges, right click, subtract. And for this, maybe I'll just cut through here, and that may be enough. And so that may be enough for this detail right here. All right, I'm almost done here, just have a few more things to work out. The first thing you want to notice is that because of the loops right here, we have kind of a lopsided result because we have more loops on the top than on the bottom here. So to fix this, I'll create a poly on top of crease set. Now you can go ahead and make some changes. You don't want to make any cuts, extrusions, but what you can do is move around edges and vertices after you've applied the creases. That's not going to mess things up. So what I can do is just, let's say, double click on this to loop this, double click, hold Control to select multiple ones right here. Now I don't want it to affect all of this, so I would just deselect this, deselect these edges here, like so, and I can use center right here, click multiple times, it's going to center these right here. Now as I was saying previously, in order to capture a better normal map result, you don't want to have this kind of straight down effect right here, where it's only going to capture a little bit right here, a little bit right here. What you want to do is kind of scale these together. And so now you can see there's a lot more territory, a lot more area to capture right here. All right, same for right here. The only thing that will be captured is a little bit of space right here. So what I want to do is just select these polygons and scale right here. And now you can see there's a lot more to capture right here in the normal map. Sharp edge here, sharp edge here. But once again, a quick way to make your object look more interesting is just to remove that crease. So this is with these edges creased, and if I right click here to remove that, move that to 0, notice how I get more of this kind of detail right here. But I probably want this to be creased here. Okay, there we go. So notice, I think it just makes it look a little bit more interesting right here. Same for right here, we can scale this together here, just to capture a little bit more normal map right here. And going back to our low poly, let's make some quick changes to make this a much better low poly. So pretty much what we can do is just, let's say, select these edges, hold Control, click here to remove the edges and vertices. Do the same for this. But notice how we get this result, so let's just deselect these. There we go. And do the same for this right here. And this right here, but we don't want to remove these because these actually contribute to the shape right here, to the silhouette. So we actually want to deselect this, remove this. All right. We want to have maybe an extrude here just to get that little kind of detail right here, just to kind of have the silhouette pop out a little bit better here. All right, and then we can apply symmetry. We can remove this loop in the center, and then we can use turn to poly, limit polygon size, and it looks like we also want to remove this as well. And there we go. Now we have a very good low poly right here. And I will just quickly unwrap this. And one thing to know about the unwrap modifier here is that an issue that can occur is that if I unwrap this, and let's say Control A, select all the polygons, I go into mapping, flatten mapping, let's say get this result right here, and then let's say I apply edit poly, and then unwrap W again. Notice how the UVs are completely changed here, kind of reset. So here's what you want to do instead. Don't apply edit poly. What you can do is simply right click and collapse this. And now if I apply edit poly, let's say to make some quick changes and unwrap W again, notice how now the UVs are intact what I created the first time I applied unwrap W. So that's what you want to do. You want to collapse right away, otherwise you can have your UVs reset right here. And so working with the crease set modifier right here is I can very easily change the sharpness here. So this is 0.28, and even though your normal map may look good up close, further away, normal map details will become very hard to see. So in order to make them easier to see, you may want to smooth this out a little bit. So instead of 0.28, let's try 0.15 or 0.16 here. This will make your geometry that much smoother, and it'll make the normal map details hold up better from a distance right here. But since I made this kind of curved addition right here, I want to modify my low poly to also match that curve. So I'll just move this to 0. And so now I can just apply the poly and then use chamfer right here. And since I want to make this real simple here, in fact, this low poly may actually be too simple for modern day assets here, or next gen assets. You probably want to have more topology, more detail in your low poly, but I'm just going with this for a nice quick example here. And sometimes you may actually want to go this low if you have lots of these objects in the scene in your environment. So here I'm just going to use chamfer to kind of match this up right here, and there we go. So notice how it's gone a little bit back like this because of chamfer. Chamfer has done this right here. So what I would do is target weld right here, S, Alt D, make sure Y axis active, and then snap right here. The back is fine here. Okay. Okay, once again a quick unwrap. Collapse, and there we go. So I will export this as an FBX file and the other ones as FBX as well. Alright, and here's the bake and substance painter. It doesn't look too bad, but you can see there's some problems here. For example, the triangle detail didn't bake properly because this is what it's modeled to look like. And so in order to fix that, we can actually use a cage file, and we can create that by modifying the low poly. So select the low poly, apply new add poly modifier. And so pretty much all I want to do is just select this and move it past the high poly, like so. Another technique is to use the push modifier, but in some situation the push modifier will kind of collapse in on itself like this. What you can do is start with the push modifier and then apply add a poly on top and do some further corrections here. So for example, see how this is kind of going out here a little bit? We can fix that by just selecting this and moving a little bit to the left and moving this a little bit to the right. Selecting the top, moving it a little bit up, moving this a little bit right, and moving this a little bit left. And perhaps taking this polygon and moving it a little bit further here if it needs to be. Alright, there we go. What we could also try doing is using, let's say, FFD, and simply using that to scale it like so. There we go. So we have FFD, push, and just good old-fashioned moving around the vertices, edges, and polygons. So I will just move this back to 0, and I'll export this as a separate file and use that as a cage. And so this is the bake right now, and this is with the cage right here. The triangular detail looks a lot better here. So these are more various tips and tricks you can use for modeling both high poly and low poly. Thank you for watching, and take care.